How to remove perfume stains from fabric. Many people don't realize that even clear perfumes can stain and leave residue on pieces of clothing. Because many perfumes are alcohol-based, they typically leave oily, looking spots on fabrics if they are sprayed directly on them. For this reason, it's always best to apply perfume or cologne before getting dressed. However, if one of your favorite shirts gets stained, don't despair. There are a number of methods you can use to remove the stain entirely and make your garment look good as new. Method 1: Removing stains from cotton and other washable fabrics. 1. Dab the stain with water. If you are trying to remove a perfume stain from cotton, linen, nylon, polyester, spandex or wool, first pat at the stain with a dampened sponge or cloth. Make sure not to rub the stain, instead, use a light hand and dab with patting movements, starting from the center of the stain and working out. Dabbing at the stain works especially well for fresh stains, because moistening the stain prevents it from spreading and setting in the fabric. If the stain is fresh, dabbing at the stain may be enough to absorb and remove the stain. 2. Create a dishwashing detergent solution. If the perfume stain you are removing isn't fresh, just dabbing at it may not be enough. To more aggressively combat the stain, create a solution that is 1 part glycerin, 1 part dishwashing detergent and 8 parts water. If you just have a small stain, use 1 teaspoon or tablespoon of glycerin and dishwashing detergent and 8 teaspoons or tablespoons of water. Stir the detergent solution to mix thoroughly. 3. Apply the detergent solution to the stain. After you have mixed together your detergent solution, pour a small amount onto the stain. Make sure to only apply the solution to the stain, not to the surrounding area. 4. Place folded paper towel on top of the detergent solution. Once you have applied the detergent solution, fold up a sheet of paper towel and place it on top of the stain. Then let the detergent work on the fabric for about 10 minutes. As the detergent solution works to lift up the stain, the paper towel will absorb the stain out of the fabric. 5. Change the paper towel as it absorbs the stain. After about 10 minutes, check on the paper towel. If you see that some of the oily stain has transferred to the paper towel, swap the paper towel out for another folded sheet. Keep repeating this process until no more stain gets lifted. If you notice that the area of the stain is drying, add more detergent solution. If none of the stain seems to have been removed, keep the original paper towel there and keep checking until some of the stain has been absorbed. 6. Apply rubbing alcohol to the stain. If you still notice stain remnant after using the detergent solution lifting process, dip a cotton ball in rubbing solution and dab the rubbing alcohol over the stain. Then dab a teaspoon or so of rubbing alcohol to a sheet of folded paper towel and place it over the stain. The rubbing alcohol and paper towel will work in a similar way as the detergent solution, they are just slightly more powerful as cleaning agents. 7. Change out the paper towel. Look at the paper towel after 10 minutes or so. If you notice that some of the stain is lifted, change out the paper towel. If nothing has been absorbed, place the paper towel back on the rubbing alcohol and the stain and keep checking until some of the stain has been lifted. Add rubbing alcohol if you notice that the stain is drying. Keep repeating this process until no more of the stain is being lifted. If the stain has been completely removed, flush the garment with water to remove any detergent solution or rubbing alcohol, then hang the garment up to dry. 8. Soak the fabric in water and baking soda, then wash. If removing the stain hasn't worked, soak the fabric in a solution of 1 part water and 1 part baking soda for 10-15 minutes. Then launder as usual in the washer and dryer. Method 2: Removing stains from silk or triacetate. 1. Flush the stain with water. Run water over the perfume stain on the silk or triacetate. Though silk and triacetate are not very absorbent materials, try to saturate the stained area with water. Water stops fresh stains from setting, and helps old stains separate from the fabric so that they can get removed. 2. Add a couple drops of glycerin to the stain. After flushing with water, drop on a few drops of glycerin and use your finger to gently dab the glycerin to cover the stained area. Glycerin helps to soften even old stains so that they can be removed. 3. Rinse the stain. After you add the glycerin to the stain, run the fabric under water and rinse well, gently wiping over the stain with your finger. After rinsing, you should see that some or all of the perfume stain has been removed. 4. Dab the stain with a vinegar solution. If the glycerin didn't fully remove the stain, make a solution of white vinegar by using a 1:1 ratio of water and white vinegar. Then add a small amount of the solution to a cloth or sponge and blot at the stain, starting at the center of the stain and working out. 5. Dab the stain with denatured alcohol. If the glycerin and vinegar didn't work to remove the stain, add a couple of drops of denatured alcohol to a cheesecloth pad or to a sponge. Then use a patting motion to dab at the stain with the denatured alcohol. Denatured alcohol is poisonous when ingested, so be extremely careful when using it and store it out of reach of children. 6. Flush with water and dry the silk. After you have removed the stain from your silk, flush the garment with water to remove any remnants of the cleaning agents you used. Then hang your silk garment out to dry. Method 3. Removing stains from leather or suede. 1. Blot any excess perfume. Use a dry wad of paper towel or cheesecloth to blot the leather or suede with gentle tapping motions. This works especially well with fresh stains, but may not be effective with older, dried stains. Never use water on leather or suede. 2. Make a solution of soap and water. Fill a large bowl halfway full with lukewarm water, then add a squirt of mild liquid soap to the water. Swish the water around by shaking the bowl or by swirling your hand around in the water to create suds. 3. Scoop up the foam and apply it to the stain. Use your hands to scoop up the suds and bubbles you created, then add the suds to a clean sponge. Sponge the suds onto the stain and pat the stain gently. 4. Wipe the stain dry. After you pat in the suds into the stain, use a dry paper towel or cloth to wipe the suds away from the fabric. You should see that the soap suds have worked to partially or completely remove the stain. 5. Add cornmeal to the stain. If the stain is still visible in the leather or suede, sprinkle on enough cornmeal to lightly cover the stain. Let the cornmeal sit for about half an hour. Cornmeal works by lifting and absorbing the stain. 6. Brush off the cornmeal. After you have let the cornmeal sit for around half an hour, use a dry, stiff, bristled brush to delicately brush the cornmeal off of the leather or suede. If you see that some of the stain is still there, add on more cornmeal. Keep repeating until all the stain has been absorbed and removed. Tips. Remember to always apply perfume before getting dressed so that you don't stain your clothes. Not all fabrics are the same. If you're not sure what methods to use for your stained garment, research safe ways to remove stains from that particular fabric. Warnings. Denatured alcohol is poisonous to ingest, so use extreme care when using and storing it.